Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus! Coronavirus! Shit is real! Shit is getting real!
Welcome everyone to my home. Occasionally you'll hear my children running around and probably my dogs barking and my husband yelling, and it's really quite the environment for teaching, isn't it? So anyway, I want to welcome you to remote instruction or online learning or distance learning or whatever the buzzwords are that you've chosen to call this, whatever we're calling this, quarantine learning, sucks to be us, whatever you choose to call it. I'm going to make this as easy and as fun as I can for you. Something that we can do together to kind of pass the time as much as possible. And I get a paycheck and you get some kind of something out of it, some learning, maybe some feedback, maybe a grade. I don't know how that's working for you, how that's working for all of us, but we'll figure it out together. So in this first intro video, I'm going to go over some stuff that I kind of am hoping to do, and we'll figure it out. So first things first, I'm going to go over my lesson plan for the next week and what you can kind of hope to expect from me, my office hours, what platforms I'm going to be using, and what kind of work that you're going to be getting from me. So this goes for developmental psychology of children and careers of children people. From here on out, I don't want to say developmental psychology of children is too much to say, so DPOC and CWC. That's what we're going with, or developmental psych, or whatever I choose to say. So the lesson plan is as follows. We're supposed to be doing a soft opening on Tuesday, April 7th. So when you see this video, it will be April 7th, hopefully. And right now it's April 2nd. So the lesson plan will be for April 7th through the 10th. And your first assignments will be due on April 17th. So you have quite a bit of time to do them. They're not very hard, so you don't need to be like fretting about it or anything like that. And I know I usually say that in class, that they're not that hard, but I really do mean it this time because honestly, I'm playing video games and chilling, and my headaches have been a lot better. So I'm not trying to make myself overly stressed, and I don't want you to stress out either. So first things first, hopefully you got my invite to the Google Classroom. I did see that some of you have already joined. If you are having an issue with that, you can email me on the work email. That's stephaniemarple@antiochschools.net or teachermarple@gmail.com. You can also go to my teacher webpage on the DVHS website. I'm going to be posting a lot of links there in case you can't for some reason get to the links elsewhere. My office hours, quote office hours, since I'm not going to be at school, like I said, I'm going to be here at home. Literally, I am in my child's spare room right now. My office hours are going to be every weekday from 10:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. So you can call me and talk. Or you can email me. You can talk to me about life. You can talk to me if you're bored. You can talk to me if you have issues about the work, or I don't really foresee any of that, but I'm supposed to have an office hour, so that's my office hours. It's not too early in the morning, so those of you who are late risers, I think that's late enough in the morning and, early enough that, I don't know, it's good. You can reach me via email at that point. Please don't call me on my cell phone. I mean, unless it's really, really dire, please don't. I tend to get blown up on my cell phone. So, first assignments, psych. This is you. So the first one is to watch this intro video. So good job if you're watching this video. You did your first assignment. The second assignment is a discussion topic. And careers of children, this is the same one for you too. Taking into consideration the age group of the children you were either interning with or working with at Tiny Town, okay, what challenges or problems would you face as a teacher creating remote instruction / online learning? They're the same thing. People are just using them interchangeably for that age group. So let's just say you were working in Tiny Town, all right, with 3.5-year-olds. What kind of problems would you foresee creating something like this if you were a teacher? So if you were Miss Marple right now and you had to teach online to 3.5-year-olds, how would that be a problem? So let's just think about attention spans for a 3.5-year-old. If you were teaching to high schoolers, a lot of you have been texting me like, Miss Marple, it doesn't matter because you aren't supposed to grade us right now. You know what I mean? So just think about that kind of stuff. And just jot down a few lines for that. And a lot of this stuff, I just want you to write a few lines. You can write it in an email to me, or you can post it in Google Classroom. Again, psych. Your next assignment is to go on YouTube, and I created a channel, which I will post the link in Google Classroom and on my DV Teacher webpage. The video for psych is called Emotion, Stress, and Health. It's in my YouTube playlist for psych, and it's only 10 minutes long, so it's not a lot of time. Please leave a comment describing your reaction to the video in the discussion section of the YouTube channel, of my YouTube channel. In addition, please write one paragraph about how you are practicing self-care. Self-care is just a fancy new word for how you're taking care of yourself mentally during this quarantine, or not, and email it to me or upload it to Google Classroom. And then lastly, you are to go to 2 quizzes on Buzzfeed, and I provided those links. Again, this lesson plan is going to be posted on Google Classroom too. So there's 2 quizzes I want you to take on Buzzfeed. One is asking if you're a hero or a villain. And one is, the other one is what kind of Starbucks drink you are. And those 2 Buzzfeed quizzes are actually the same for Careers of Children too. So, and then the extra credit assignment is reaching out to your mentor teacher if you're in psych, and either by phone or email, because I reached out to a lot of them and they really would love your help to call their students and see if the students are interested in working with them one-on-one, like via FaceTime or Skype or Facebook Messenger or whatever it might be, and seeing if you can support them during this time, and you will receive extra credit if you do any work for them at all. And if you do, just contact me privately and we can talk. And that's just extra credit. So a lot of your mentor teachers did express interest in doing this. They were just super psyched about having like a virtual internship. Careers of Children students, watch my weekly intro video. You're doing it now. Great job. Discussion topic, same thing. YouTube video. Okay, you are going to watch 3 videos. They're each only about 7 minutes each. They're about atypical and typical development for 2, 4, and 6-month-olds. You are going to leave comments describing how you would provide support and information to a family with an infant in your care with similar developmental disabilities in the discussion section of my YouTube channel. Further, you still need to do your career portfolio. I'm kind of changing some of those parameters because you still are an LMC class, so you still actually need to work a little bit harder to try and get that LMC credit. So I know despite what DV is saying about, oh, you are still going to pass and blah, 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 LMC is still particular about, I still get to decide whether or not you get that LMC credit. Okay, DV doesn't mandate that, LMC does. So if you want that LMC credit, you still need to try hard till the end of the year. So for your career portfolio, I want you to type 1 full page. You know what I mean by 1 full page. Okay, it's been a lot of months. Okay, we still had a lot of months of school. You know me. On your experience running Tiny Town Preschool. If you're in psych right now, you can skip this part. Things to consider: what was it like lesson planning, working in a team, working with difficult children, working with your buddy? What was it like on the first day? Did it live up to your expectations? Do you miss it? Would you do it all over again? And when you're done, please spell check it. Email it to me or upload it to Google Classroom. Then you're going to do the 2 quizzes on Buzzfeed, like I said. Your extra credit is to reach out to your buddy's family, either by phone or email. If you want to reach out to any tiny town family, you can just let me know which one. And then you can do an activity with them over FaceTime, Skype, or Facebook Messenger, like I was talking about earlier. And if you do anything with your buddy, please let me know. A lot of the families are very interested in hearing from you. The buddies have been talking about you a lot. Doing the Tiny Town Chant at home, I've been hearing a lot from the families, and they miss Tiny Town a lot. If you are curious about my BuzzFeed quiz results, I am a hero, and I like, apparently I'm a strawberries and cream frappuccino kind of person, which is actually quite true. And so there you have it. I have been trying to find more interesting videos on YouTube as well, so it's not always going to be like academic kind of stuff. Sometimes it's going to be like comedy shows and things like that. So please stay tuned. And then my next segment, I think you're going to rather enjoy. So with that, presenting.
Presenting Dr. Marble's weekly child development and psychoanalysis of your favorite TV show and movie characters. This week, episode is Love is Blind. First up is your favorite character, Jessica. Jessica presents with your typical Seinfeld syndrome. Seinfeld syndrome is characterized by, for example, when you're with a boyfriend and he's chewing incessantly, and that sound that he makes is so ugh, and you just focus right in on that thing. It's the very reason you break up with him, because it's that one little tiny thing. And even though he's the greatest guy in the whole wide world, it's that way that he chews his food, and you just choose to nitpick that very little thing. Jessica has such low self-esteem that when she's with someone, she finds any little thing about them that she can and chooses that as the reason that she can't be with them. For instance, Mark, his age, no spark. And, of course, let's forget he's no Barnett. Thus, self-sabotaging every relationship she's in. Mark was perfect for her because he came from a great family and would have provided her the stability she had. She had never had enough love and appreciation. But because she doesn't truly love herself, she can't appreciate someone like him and will always choose the bad boy, like Barnett, who would use her and lose her, as they say. She also has a drinking problem. She uses drinking as a way to lower her inhibitions to do things she would normally want to do, like be affectionate with Mark, or normally not want to do, like be affectionate with Mark, but only to make Barnett jealous, so she thinks anyway, and then excuse her actions. Oh, sorry, Mark, I only did X, Y, and Z because I was drinking. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we don't drink. Next up is G and Nina. Oh, good Lord, what a hot mess. Let me get started on this one. This girl right here would key your car if you looked at her wrong. Remind you of anyone? Her parents' divorce took a huge toll on her emotional well-being. As a result, I believe Gia may have suffered through some eating disorders and perhaps weight issues and significant weight losses, unfortunately. However, with those, she has not completely dealt with the psychology surrounding her body image, and so she has a very difficult time with her sense of self, beauty, intimacy, etc. And whatever dates Gia is in for, or whoever dates Gia is in for a very, very rocky journey. She probably is a very sweet girl, but if you turn your back, she's probably standing behind you with a very sharp knife. Look out, guys. Okay? This is why therapy is very important. Damien, oh dear Lord, with your tight shirts. Damien is compensating for the fact that he probably was a smaller guy in high school. He's a sensitive type that wants to appear like he's the bad guy. Buff dude. Damien, stop playing. We acknowledge that you worked hard for your muscles, but it's okay to be sensitive. Okay? It's okay to be the nice guy. Ladies, marry the nice guy. They're smart, they treat you well, and they spoil you. But Damien, turn around because she's got that knife out. And then there's Barnett. This is your classic baby, or even middle child of the family. Barnett is used to getting what he wants. If he is the middle child, then he craves attention, and that's why he loves when women compete for him. He obviously comes from a pretty well-off family. He's relatively good-looking and charming, and I'm sure that's why many women have fallen for his act prior to Jessica and Amber. Females who tend to fall for Barnett are your Starbucks pumpkin latte drinking, UGG-wearing, scarf-bearing, let's scream when we see our friends in public. Ah! I can't wait to have an engagement photo shoot in the fall, chicks! And he loves it. And Barnett needs attention constantly. This is your classic, I will never be ready for marriage until I'm at least 40 kind of guy. Okay, Amber's biggest complaint is going to be one of a few things. He's constantly texting other women, even if they're just friends. He won't put a time frame on having kids. All he wants to do is party with his friends. He doesn't help out around the house, or I feel like I'm raising a man-child. Okay, so this is my analysis of Love is Blind. And yes, I am guilty of watching the show as well. Ladies and gentlemen, therapy is very important, and this is why we study child development and psychology. It's understanding human behavior. It's understanding why people do the things they do, and why we understand the things that parents put us through and our families put us through, and why it makes us the people that we are, good and bad. Why therapy is important, why it's good to talk about our problems, why it's good to, talk about our issues and resolve things in an amicable way. But next week, I'm taking your suggestions. If you would like me to talk about a certain show of yours, I'm willing to hear it out. As long as it is not lewd or crass, I am willing to hear it. I was next up going to do Tiger King because, of course, I've been sucked into that show. I was probably going to end up talking about what's-her-face, Baskin, and the Tiger King himself. Carol Baskin? Yeah. And because, gosh, there's so much ground to cover there. And then if you have any other suggestions, I'm willing to hear them, so put them in the comments below. And with that, I bid you adieu, and I hope that you all are very safe and very healthy, and I miss you all wholeheartedly, and I miss being back in the classroom, and anyway, I miss you guys, so bye.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus! Coronavirus!